We'll see the experiment number 9. The title of the experiment is TCP client server programming, which will execute in the iterative way. Okay, so before going to the experiment number 9, let me explain some concepts from the socket programming. Actually, it is a part of syllabus of chapter number 6. But as it is a programming part, I kept this, I left this as a discussion for the lab. Okay, so let's start with what do you mean by socket programming. We are going to discuss about TCP as well as UDP. All of you know that TCP and UDP, these are the two important protocols at the transport layer. So this particular part is there in the syllabus. So I'll just show you the syllabus first. So I have not taken that part here in the theory section because I kept this as a discussion for the lab session. Okay, so let me show you the syllabus first. So yeah, so if you see the chapter number 6, these concepts are there. So in transport layer, we are going to discuss about what is a socket, basically what is the socket address structure, which are the system calls for TCP as well as for UDP. And we'll discuss shortly what is a concurrent and iterative server. Okay, so let's start with discussion about what is socket. Okay, so socket is nothing but basically it is a communication endpoint. It is a communication endpoint. So this is basically, this socket allows the processes which are running on a different machine. It may be a different machine or a same machine. Okay, network processes to communicate with each other. So socket is basically, it is a communication endpoint which allows the two network processes which might be running on same machine or different machine, they can communicate with each other. Okay, there are different system calls as well, but this particular socket, it looks and behave like a file descriptor, or all of you know that whenever we are going to handle the file, the open system call will return you the file descriptor, which allows you to perform the read as well as write operation on the file. Socket is very similar to that. Basically, a socket also gives you the descriptor that is basically called as socket descriptor. As like a file descriptor, we have a socket descriptor. Okay. So what this socket descriptor is, it allows us to communicate, it will allows us to open the to read and write operation get performed between the two processes. Okay, so the points that you have to remember is socket, it is a communication endpoint which allows the two processes to communicate with each other. Might be that process is on same machine or it is running on a different machine. Okay, all of you already know that what is socket address. So socket address, we have seen different types of addresses, like IP address is there, then MAC address is there, spatial addresses are there. Okay, similar to that there will be a socket address. So socket address is a combination of IP address. Okay, so it is IP address plus port number, so that will give you the socket address. For example, 172.22.34.12, this is IP address, and suppose if I say 7 as my port number, so combinedly these two IP address plus port number give you the socket address. Okay, now let's talk about what are the different socket types. So there are two types of socket, basically the stream socket. Okay, there are two types of socket. The first is basically it is a stream socket. So stream socket, it is used that in which the data is get delivered from one point to another point in a stream. Okay, stream of bytes. So all of it is basically a connection oriented, and all of you know that the connection oriented protocol which allows the data transmission in the stream of byte is TCP. Okay, so whenever we are using the TCP, the sockets that are created, it is a stream socket, because the data will be transferred from one process to another process as a stream of byte. And there is another type of socket that is called as datagram socket. Obviously all of you know this word datagram. It is in connectionless, so it deals with the UDP protocol. So whenever we are using UDP protocol, it allows to send data in the form of datagrams where there is no connection established. So it is a connectionless protocol. Okay, there is no connection established between sender and receiver, but we can transfer the data in a form of datagram. Okay, so basically when we use UDP protocol, the socket which is created or socket that are used is a datagram. Okay, the key point that you remember is in TCP the stream socket is used, and in UDP protocol the datagram socket is used. Okay, now before going into the discussion, detailed discussion of what is this programming, what are the system calls and all, let me talk about little bit about the socket structure. Okay, so we are going to perform these labs in Ubuntu basically, which is the flavor of Unix operating system. So here it provides various structures. So structure, all of you know that it is a collection of heterogeneous element, okay, or heterogeneous data item. That is what called as a structure. So this in Unix operating system, it will provide you a different structure which are related to the socket programming, which holds the information about. So for what purpose these structures are used? These structures are used to hold the information about the addresses, port and other information. Okay, so there are many structures, but I am not going to discuss all. I have just given the information about only two structures that we are required. So let me talk about only those two structures. The first structure is SOC ADDR_in. Okay, the name is fixed, we cannot change because this is the structure which is inbuilt. Okay, so you can say this is actually the socket, Berkeley socket programming, the system calls as a part of operating system. So these structures are inbuilt. So let me talk these structures. The first structure is SOC ADDR_in. Okay, this is the first structure, and if you see the structure element, there are 4 elements here. The first is sign_family. Remember, the names are fixed, it doesn't going to be changed. The sign_family, it is integer element. Another is sign_port. Okay, this is also a short integer because we will discuss that. And the next is basically the third element is the structure variable itself. So you can see here now there is a nesting. All of you might be knowing the nested structure. Okay, though here the third element is the structure variable, of which structure it is in_ADDR. So here we can say that in_ADDR, this particular structure is nested inside SOC ADDR_in. Okay, so the SOC ADDR_in, it is outer structure you can say, and this is what the inner structure. Now see, for this outer structure SOC ADDR_in, the elements are family. Okay, we will discuss shortly what is family. Then the second element is port. Already all of you know. Third element, as I said, it is a structure itself. Okay, this is sign ADDR. This is a variable. You can take any variable here, but normally you can refer the same which is given here. And then the last you can say element, it is not used basically. So here you can say the first attribute or the first element is the family. Okay, first element is a family. So there are different types of these families having different types of value, but as we are using the internet based applications, normally the family used is AF_INET. This is a family value used for the family variable, sign_family variable. Okay, the second is port. Okay, so port is basically, it is a 16-bit number. So after that there will be an IP address which is of total 32-bit, and here it is written that it is used in network byte ordering. Okay, so basically we have system byte ordering and network byte ordering. Byte ordering means is it from whatever the bytes are there, like 32-bit bits. So whatever the bits are there, is it referred it has a different sequence for the host as well as network. Okay, so port is it is a port number, and sign_ADDR, it holds an IP address, and the last variable, it is not used. Then the second structure. Okay, you can see this is the nested structure here. So I'll show you the element of that structure as well. So that structure is struct you can say in_ADDR. This is the next structure. So what this structure is holding, this structure holds the information about the 32-bit the network address. Okay, so you can see that s underscore ADDR, s underscore ADDR, this is the basically element in which you can write your IP address, So here I have already mentioned, like the s underscore ADDR, this variable, this element, it is used for representing your 32-bit IP address. Now I will again go inside, again go to the top, and if you see clearly, it is very clear, like the outer structure is SOC ADDR underscore in. Okay, elements are family. So we are referring the family, as I told you, that AF underscore INET, that is internet family. Then you need to mention what is a port number, and the third member. Now here it is a variable of which structure? In underscore ADDR. Okay, in underscore ADDR. Now for example, if I create here a variable s, okay, let me take a variable s for this structure, SOC ADDR underscore in. This is s is a variable of structure SOC ADDR underscore in. So how you are going to access the element? All of you know that the element of the structure are accessed by the dot operator, variable dot element name. So I can mention here s dot, okay, s dot, what is the first member? It is sign underscore family. And then I need to write its value as AF underscore INET. Getting? Then second, I can write s dot sign underscore port. This is the second variable, second element. You can look at here, sign port. So how I can access the sign port? I can say s dot sign port is equals to whatever the port number that you have. Okay. Then s dot. Okay, so here this is a nesting concept. So I can say sign underscore ADDR, this is the variable, structure variable for s underscore ADDR. Okay, so how I can access this element of in underscore ADDR? Okay, so in that case, in case of nesting, you need to use double dot operator. So I can say s dot sign ADDR. I'm just writing here sign underscore ADDR, okay, dot, then you can access the elements of the in underscore ADDR. So what are the elements of in underscore ADDR? It is s underscore ADDR. This is the element. So if I want to access the element of inner structure, I need to use double dot operator, is equals to, then you can write here IP address. So for example, I can writing IP address 127.0.0.1. So hope you remember, this is one of the special IP address which comes under the category of loopback. Okay, it is a loopback address. Loopback means if you are testing your client and server program on the same machine, you probably refer the loopback address, because if you refer the loopback address, the packets are not transferred into the network. It is just used for means it will be sent to the NIC, and from NIC it will get loopback. Okay, it will be not transferred in the network. So it is a loopback. And for what purpose it is used? If you are writing client and server program, तुम्ही client and server program एकाच machine वर लिहित असाल, then for testing the packets sent from client process to server process will be not transferred in the network, because you are executing the client and server program on the same machine. So there is no need to transfer the packets or the data in the network. Okay, so you can normally refer the loopback address. But the thing is that if you are executing client on another machine and server on another machine, if there are two machines, one is of client and one is of server, then you need to mention here the IP address of corresponding machines. Okay, yeah. So I'll just delete this one, and I hope that you understand this particular structure. This is very important concept. Okay, you need to access the sign family by the variable s dot sign family is equals to, you can write down the family value, then you can write down the port. Okay, how you can access the port? You can say variable dot sign underscore port, and third is itself is a structure. So sign underscore ADDR, this is a variable, okay, through which we can access the elements of in underscore ADDR. So for that you need to use double dot operator. So I can say s dot sign ADDR, then again dot, and then element of this one, that is s underscore ADDR. This is the element of in underscore ADDR structure, and then you can put here IP address. Okay, so the first is family, second is port, and third is address. Last element is not used, so don't use that. Okay, now I'll just go ahead. Hope you understand both of these structure. These structures are very important. So whenever you are writing your client and server program, you need to write this, you need to create a variable of this structure, and then you can assign the values to the different elements. Okay, different element means family, port, and address. Family, port, and address. Getting? Yeah. So I'll just move ahead. Now we'll discuss about the types of server. So we have basically two types of server. Okay. Now see, in case of client and server architecture, we'll be having a client process and we'll be having a server. We'll be having client and server. What is client basically? Let me talk about what is server. Server which provides different services. Which provides services. It may be any service. It may be any service in any network service. So server, it provides the service and client can use that service. Okay, client can use that particular service. Yeah, use that service. Getting? Okay, so here client will send a request to the server for that particular service. Okay, so this is basically a client server approach. Okay, so in the network we will be having one server and will be having many clients. Those can communicate with your server for getting that particular network service. Okay, that is what basically a client server concept. Now let me talk about which are the different types of server. There are basically two types of server, it based on the way in which it will executes. So server is having iterative type and concurrent type. Now the concept is very simple, as I told you that there is only one server, okay, and there are many clients. There are many clients and there will be one server. So in iterative, what happen when the requests from the clients are handled one by one. Okay, requests from clients are handled one by one. So assume that I have two clients here and one server. So first, suppose the first client sends a request. Okay, then suppose second client sends a request. So server will you can say respond to that particular clients one by one. So if server is busy in first client request, he will keep the second client on waiting. He will keep the second client on waiting. This is called as iterative communication. Okay, and another is called as concurrent. म्हणजे at a time एकच client ची request serve होते. That is called as iterative way of execution of the server. Okay, because we have only one server here. तो एकाचीच कोणाची तर रिक्वेस्ट हँडल करू शकतो. सपोज द रिक्वेस्ट कम फ्रॉम 100 clients, so that request are hold in the queue and it will serve that request one by one. So suppose the server is serving the request of first client or looking for the request of the first client, remaining 99 will be in the waiting condition. Okay, that is what iterative communication. And the next is concurrent. Look at the diagram of concurrent. Concurrent server means the server can handle the request from many clients at a time. Why? Because this is very important diagram. You can say the server will create its own child. ये तो स्वतःचे क्लोन तयार करतो. Okay, it's very similar like a clone. Okay, so server can handle the request from many clients at a time. That is what called as concurrent server. So you look at here, there is a server. Okay, so what does concurrent server do? Whenever request come, it will create its child server. Child server create केले जातात and request will be given to the child server. Every time the request is given to the child server. So suppose if there are two clients, suppose the request come from two clients, parent server, the server will create the two child processes, and this child means each client is communicating to each child server. ओके, म्हणजे ॲट अ टाइम किती जणांच्या रिक्वेस्ट येऊ दे, सर्व्हर काय करतो, स्वतःचे क्लोन तयार करतो अँड एव्हरी क्लायंट विल बी हँडल्ड बाय इच दॅट पर्टिक्युलर क्लायंट सर्व्हर. ओके, सो इट इज पॉसिबल दॅट मेनी रिक्वेस्ट कॅन सर्व ॲट अ टाइम. ओके, म्हणजे माझ्याकडे 2 जणांच्या रिक्वेस्ट आल्या तर व्हॉट आय डू इज आय कॅन क्रिएट माय ओन चाइल्ड सर्व्हर and each client will communicate with each child server. So it is possible that you can say you can handle the request from many clients at a time. That is what called as concurrent. But in iterative it is not possible. If the requests are coming from many clients, the client need to wait, because the request will be taken one by one. आणि इथं सगळ्यांच्या रिक्वेस्ट ॲट अ टाइम घेतल्या जातात. Okay, because the server will create its own child server. Okay, so that is the biggest difference between concurrent and iterative. I can show the demo of this in a college on Ubuntu operating system. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead with the next, that is very important. This is that you want to do in the lab. So this is what the basic concept that we have seen. That is the basic concept. You should know what is socket. You should know what is the socket address. You should know what are the types of socket. Okay, it is a stream socket and datagram. Stream is used in TCP and datagram used in UDP. Then there will be a socket structure. In socket structure there are many structures, but at least two of this. Okay, हे दोन तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवावे लागतील. sock ADDR_in and second is the nested one, that is in_ADDR. These two structures you need to remember. Getting? Then the types of server we have seen. Iterative, that is one by one the client request will be served, and in concurrent many clients requests are served at the same time. Okay, client server can handle many requests, many client requests at the same time. Now this is very important that you want to do in the lab. Let me just minimize. Yes, so in lab, in the 9th experiment, I'll just go to that experiment again. In 9 experiment, what you need to do is that you need to create a iterative TCP client server communication. Okay, and that means you need to write the client program as well as server program. Server should work in iterative way, and we are using TCP socket programming here. Our next experiment, 10th one, is based on UDP. Okay, now here in the journal you need to write down the title, aim, objective and relevance. Okay, in the theory section the same thing I have written here, so I can explain this first. What are the TCP client server program? Okay, TCP client server communication. So let me just zoom in out. Okay, I want to show this diagram entirely as a whole. So if you look at here, there will be a server and there is a client. Now we are using Berkeley socket programming, so there are some system calls that you execute at server side and at client side, and this sequence is very important, which is shown in the diagram. This sequence of the system calls are very important. Now you can say server process. See, server should always in running condition. Server आपला नेहमीच सर्विस मध्ये पाहिजे. It is running on any port number, and the client will send a request to the server. So who will passive open and who is active open? I think we have seen this in chapter number 6. The server is always in running condition means server is in passive open. Okay, who is always in running condition, and who will do the active open? So whenever the request from client will be sent to the server, it is actively open from client side. So active open is at client side. And look at this, these are the some system calls that you need to execute that you need to write in your server program and client program. So let's talk about which are the system calls. Okay, these are inbuilt system call of operating system. The Unix operating system is going to provide this system call. These are the inbuilt as a part of operating system. Okay, now see, the system calls are socket. And see, this sequence is very important. If you write socket and then write, it's very wrong. Okay, this sequence is very important. So first system call is socket, bind, listen, accept. Okay, so what it will do? So first, when the server executes the socket system call, the end point is get created. Communication end point is get created at server side. एक end point तयार होतो communication साठी. Then after that it will execute the bind system call. Bind is used to basically assign the address to the created end point. आपण जो म्हणतो की end point create झाला, okay, communication end point. To assign the address to that end point, basically the bind is used. Bind is used for that purpose. Okay, listen is basically it is used. It will open the server in passive mode. Okay, which allows the server to take the request from the client. So it will open the server in a passive mode. Now here in listen you need to mention the queue length, कि how many requests from the client side will be kept in the queue. ओके, म्हणजे किती जणांच्या रिक्वेस्ट क्यू मध्ये आपल्याला ठेवायच्या आहेत, दॅट यू कॅन मेन्शन इन द लिसन सिस्टम कॉल. सो क्यू इज क्रिएटेड हियर बेसिकली. ओके, queue of what? The queue of the request which is coming from the client. So as I said that many clients are communicating with the server. So as soon as the client will send the request, it will be hold in the queue. Okay, and one by one that request will be served by the server. So queue is maintained here. So listen is basically it will keep server, it will allow the server to run in passive mode which is running, and it will allow the server to maintain a queue in which the client request will be hold. Accept system call, what it will do, it will allow the server to block. Okay, it will, you can say it will block the server until the first request will be coming from the client. इथे तुमचा server once it executes the accept system call, okay, it will block the server, and you can see that what accept basically do, whichever the queue has been maintained, it will take one by one request from that queue and it will execute that request. Okay, so it will block the connection until जोपर्यंत request येत नाही तोपर्यंत तुमचं server it is going to be wait here. Then the next system call is read. What it read means, it will reading the request from the client. After that it will process that request, then it will write the output to the client. That means it is sending the reply. So reading the request, read system call is used, and for writing the reply, write system call is used. So you can see here clearly mentioned, in between read and write the server is going to process that request. Okay, so suppose request is for finding the time. So if the time server is there and if the request is coming to send what is the time, so here the server will read that request, find the system time, and it will send that system time to the client side. Okay, and then you can say the close system call is there at the end. So these are the system calls: socket, bind, listen, accept, then read and write. Remember, server always reads because it is reading the request from the client side. So always there will be read system call first and then write. If you look at the client side, the system calls at the client will be different. It is socket. Okay, it is very similar to the server system call. Then after that there will be no binding required because client we don't require binding of the addresses to the socket. So directly there will be connect system call. So what is connect system call? Connect system call sends a connection request to the server. And all of you know that it is a three-way handshaking process. In TCP we learn this. There is a three-way handshaking. So connect system call will do that. After connect we have write. Write is used for writing the data on the socket. Okay, so it will write that request to the another side, and then it will read the reply which is coming from the server, and then it will close the socket. So socket is basically, it is a communication endpoint, and basically socket will give you socket descriptor as like a file descriptor. The socket will provide you the socket descriptor through which we can perform read and write operation. Okay, so hope you remember this. This is very important diagram. So I'll repeat again. The TCP server side system calls are socket, bind, listen, accept, read and write. Okay, and the client side system calls are socket, connect, write and read. Okay, let one by one we'll discuss the system calls. Let me go down little bit. I'll just shortly show you the syntax and the demo program. Yeah, the first system call at server side and client side are the socket. Socket ha system call दोन्हीकडे आहे. If you look at here the diagram, the socket system call is at both the side because we need to create the communication endpoint at server side as well as the client side. Okay. So the socket system call, it is basically used to create the communication endpoint. The syntax is, it has three parameters: the family, type and protocol. Okay, you need to mention what is family. Let me increase the font little bit. Yeah, it will take the three inputs. Okay, socket system call ला 3 inputs असतात और parameter असतात. The first is family, second is type and the third is protocol. Now let's see what is the first parameter. The first parameter is family, and as I told you that TCP and UDP it comes under internet family, so you can write down the AF_INET or AF_INET 6. It depends upon which IP protocol you are using. Suppose if you are using IPv4, then you can write AF underscore INET. If you are using IPv6, then you can write down AF underscore INET 6, like that. So that is your family. Then second is type. Type is nothing but it represents what is a type of socket. So I just told you that there are two types of socket, stream socket and datagram socket. आपण जे वरती बघितले, there are two types of sockets. The first is stream and second is datagram. So you need to mention what is a type. So let me tell you what is the value for this type. The value of this type parameter is either sock underscore stream or sock underscore dgram. Okay, dgram, like that. So sock underscore stream, it is used when you are using stream socket. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही TCP चा प्रोग्राम करत असाल, then it will be sock underscore stream. And if you are doing UDP program, then it is sock underscore dgram, that is datagram socket. Getting? And third, that is protocol field. The protocol field is not used, it is set to 0. Okay, so I'll repeat again. Socket is having three parameters: family, type and protocol. Family is AF underscore INET. Type is either, so right now I am discussing TCP, so the type is sock underscore stream and the protocol set is set to 0. Now let me show you both the programs at the same time. I have written two programs of client and server for echo service. Echo means what? Echo means if I say hello, you also say hello, like that. So whatever I send, the server will reply that back again. So client will send, suppose, hello to the server. Server will send same thing back to the client. Okay, client जे काही पाठवेल सर्व्हरला, server will send it back again. So that is echoing. That is echo process that we want to execute echo. Now see, you need to include some files. These three files that you need to include: sys/type.h, sys/socket.h, and net inet/in.h. These three files, header files, you need to include in your program. Remaining that you need to include as per your you can say requirement. Okay, so these three files are very important, so need to include this sys/type.h, sys/socket.h, and net inet/in.h. These three files you need to include. Okay, now if you remember, I have created one variable here, that is server variable of the structure. Which structure? Okay, so see here, one structure is taken, struct sock addr underscore in. I hope you remember this structure. I have shown this in our file, the first structure, first outer structure. Okay, that is here, yeah, sock addr underscore in. Okay, so this structure you need to create the variable of that structure. So I have created variable server and client. So this is a variable, you can write here anything. So this is a variable, and then I need to initialize this members of this structure. So how to initialize the members? Yeah, how to initialize the members? Yeah, so let me discuss this line after that. So how you initialize the member? So I can say variable dot member name. So what is the variable name? Server dot sign port is our first member. You can initialize the member in any order. The port is 10234. Remember that we are not using any standard service. We are implementing our echo server, our own. So here we have to use the informal port numbers. So remember that informal port numbers always start from it is greater than 1024. आपले पोर्टची व्हॅल्यू असते तुमची 0 to 65,535. This is the port value. And see, out of that, some port numbers are standard and some port numbers are informal. So the informal port numbers, always the value is greater than 1024. Okay, so whatever you can write here, anything, but it should be greater than 1024. Getting? Yeah, so that is a port. Family जर तुम्ही बघितली तर इथं family पण दिली आहे. So these three initialization you need to do. So server is a variable, so server dot sign port, that is 11234, any value you can give. Then I need to initialize server sign underscore family. Okay, मगाशी मी तुम्हाला इथं पण दाखवलं होतं करून. Here I hope you remembered in the word file also. See here, the same thing we are writing in the code. So look at here, yeah. So family is AF underscore INET because I am using IPv4 protocol. And the third one is the nested structure. So we need to use double dot operator. So it is server dot sign underscore ADDR dot S underscore ADDR is equals to inet underscore ADDR. This is the function that you need to use, and in bracket you can write down your IP address. So I am using loopback IP address, so 127.0.0.1 is my loopback address. It is the loopback address of all machines, so you can use the same address. And what is this function? Basically this function will convert this decimal notation into binary. So you can write this as a function inet underscore ADDR. So you are assigning the port number, you are assigning the address, IP address, and you are also telling what is the family that you are using. Okay, now come back to our diagram. Yeah, let me close this particular. So if you look at this particular first system called socket and socket, both at both side, client side and server side. ओके, म्हणजे आपण जे दोन प्रोग्राम करणार आहे त्याच्या दोन्ही प्रोग्राममध्ये तुम्हाला पहिला सिस्टम कॉल काय यूज करायचा आहे? सॉकेट. नाउ लेट्स सी, दिस इज अ सॉकेट सिस्टम कॉल. इट टेक्स 3 पॅरामीटर AF underscore inet. Second is sock underscore stream because we are using TCP programming here. आपण TCP वापरतोय, इथं stream socket वापरतोय. So here sock underscore stream, and third parameter is set to 0. Now this is your system call. Okay, and it will return you one integer value. Okay, here it is I have take, you can take any variable name. I have take server socket FD, that is server socket file descriptor. So this is integer, I can take any variable here. So it will return the socket descriptor, integer socket descriptor. This socket descriptor is used in further system calls. Okay, this socket descriptor is used in the further system call. Now look at, this is for server side, and you can see the client side, the same process is there. I need to create a structure variable first. इथं केले structure variable. Then you need to initialize the member of the structure. So see, here we have initialized the member of the structures. So sign port, sign family, and address. Okay, so here also I am using loopback. So these 3 structure members are need to be initialized. Here structure variable is created. The variable of the structure variable is client. Okay, and then the system call that you have to you are going to execute first is the socket system call. C. Okay, कुठला system call आहे तर socket at client side also. So client side socket system call, parameter AF underscore inet, sock underscore stream, and 0. Okay, this is the, it will return the descriptor. This is of type integer. So it returns an integer value which will be act as a socket descriptor. Getting? Now let's see which is the second system call. The second system call at the server side is bind. It is bind. So as I told you that bind will, what it will do, it will assign the address to the created socket. Address assign करण्यासाठी वापरतात. Now let's see the second system call at server side. Now this is the server program. Okay, this is the server program. Now after this socket, let me, the first system call is socket. Then after that the next system call is bind. Next system call is bind. Yeah, this one. Next system call is bind. Okay, let me tell you, bind is basically used for assigning the address to the created socket. आता हे आपण फक्त structure elements has been initialized, but we are going to assign this particular structure address to the created socket. Okay, आपण काय केलं, एक एंड पॉइंट तयार केलंय, and then structure members we have initialized, but now we need to assign these addresses that we have initialized in our structure to our created endpoint. So that is bind. Bind is used for assigning the address to the created socket. Assigning the address to the created socket. Now let me first tell you about what is the syntax of that. So I'll just go down. I hope that you understood what is the socket system call. Then we'll go for the bind. Okay, so bind system call is basically taking again 3 parameters. So bind is used for assigning the address to the created socket. It is used for assigning the address to the created socket. Okay, so bind is also bind system call also takes 3 parameter. The first parameter is the socket descriptor written by the socket system call. Socket system call ने जो descriptor किंवा integer value return केली आहे, that is your first parameter. Second parameter is pointer to the structure that contains your information. It is a pointer to the structure which contains your information like port number, address, and family. Okay, and third parameter is the size of that particular structure. Now see here, you can see in the diagram it's very clear, the bind, okay, and bind returns an integer value that may be 0 or -1. 0 if the bind is done 0, it will return 0 when the system call is success, otherwise it returns minus value. Okay, now see, bind मतलब पहला parameter है the descriptor which is written by the socket system call. Now look at here, socket has written the descriptor integer value s_sockfd. ही व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला इथे वापरावी लागेल, जो डिस्क्रिप्टर आहे तो इथे वापरावा लागेल. सेकंड इज द ॲड्रेस टू दॅट पर्टिक्युलर स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, मग आपलं स्ट्रक्चर कुठलं आहे, आपण स्ट्रक्चर व्हेरिएबल कुठला आहे तर सर्व्हर, इन विच वी हॅव असाइन, इथं बघा आपण असाइन केले सर्व्हर अंडरस्कोर, म्हणजे हिअर वी हॅव असाइन दी एलिमेंट्स टू द व्हॅल्यूज टू द मेंबर्स, दॅट इज पोर्ट, फॅमिली अँड ॲड्रेस. सो यू नीड टू गिव्ह द ॲड्रेस टू दॅट पर्टिक्युलर स्ट्रक्चर अँड इट्स साईज, त्याची साईज द्यावी लागेल, म्हणजे त्या व्हेरिएबलची साईज द्यावी लागेल, स्ट्रक्चरची साईज द्यावी लागेल. गेटिंग साईज ऑफ सर्व्हर. सर्व्हर इज अवर व्हेरिएबल ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर, variable of structure. So this is your bind system call. Okay, you are binding the parameters port, family and address to the created socket. That's what, this is the descriptor to which we are binding all these parameters. Getting? Next system call is listen. Okay, next system call, if you look at the diagram, the next system call is listen system call after bind. Okay, so let me talk about what is this listen system call. Yeah, listen system call, it is used only in TCP. In UDP we don't have listen system call. Right now I am discussing TCP protocol only. So listen is used in only TCP. What it will do, as I told you, that it will convert your socket into passive mode. Okay, listen system call will convert your socket into passive socket. Passive means what? It will be always in running condition waiting for client request. Okay, and thing is that it will the second parameter basically it will take one parameter backlog. जो तुम्ही syntax बघितलात इथं, so it will take parameter that is descriptor as well as backlog. Backlog is nothing but it is an integer value which indicates what is the maximum number of connection should be considered or taken into the queue. म्हणजे सर्व्हर किती रिक्वेस्ट क्यू मध्ये ठेवणार आहे, ज्या क्लायंट कडून येणार आहेत त्या. ओके, सो सपोज आय एम सर्व्हर, I need to mention how many connection request I can take and put in the queue for the processing. Okay, so that is nothing but your backlog value, and listen will convert your socket into passive mode. Okay, it will convert your server socket into passive mode. Passive means it will be waiting for or it will be listening, you can say passively listening, like that. So it has two parameter, the socket descriptor as well as integer value which indicates what is the size of maximum size of the queue. Okay, now I'll going back into the server process, and if you look at the program, here it is taking two parameter. The first is the descriptor which is written by the socket system call. Look at here, it is a descriptor which is written by the socket system call, and I need to give a number here, any number you can give. It means that how many connection requests will be hold in the queue. Okay, you can write any value here. After that, the next system call is accept system call. Let me talk about first the syntax of accept system call. Yeah, what the accept system call will do, accept system call is used by the TCP server. Okay, it will it is to return the next completed connection in the front from the connection queue. So what it will do, as I mentioned, that server will maintain a queue. Server मध्ये queue maintain केला जातो तुमचा. Suppose yeah, I can write down here, like suppose right now I am taking 5 requests, 1 2 3 4 5. So suppose the request is come from client 1, then client 2, then client 3, then client 4, like that. Okay, and then client 5. So this is a queue maintained by the server. So what it will do, it will first serve the connection request from client 1. So it will take that request, okay, which is at the front of the queue for the processing, like that. That is what it is accepting the request from first client. After that it will accept the request from client 2, client 3 and so on in the iterative communication. Getting? So let me delete this first. Yeah, and then you can see that the syntax of this is again the same, like little bit about the bind system call. So it has three parameters. First is socket descriptor. Second is the address to the you can say it is the address to the structure. Okay, and the third is the length of that structure. That is what the three parameters to the accept system call. Let me show you the demo. If you look here, after listen, we'll be having accept system call. We'll be having accept system call. Now the question is why I can kept this in the nested in the iterative loop, in the for loop, which is unconditional, because I want my server to be always running condition. Okay, हा server तुमचा always running condition असणार आहे, so you can put it in a loop. If you remove this, no problem, then it will be just take one request and terminate. So but you need to keep it in loop. Okay, so after listen, the next system call is accept. So look at here, accept in bracket, the first is descriptor which is written by the socket system call. The second, it is address to the client, okay, client's structure for which the first connection request is accepted, okay, and the length of that particular structure. So here the length of that structure is calculated. So client is also a structure variable for this particular sock underscore addr underscore in. Getting? So here another thing that I need to tell you, that this system call returns a descriptor. Okay, this system call also returns a descriptor which is used for communication further with that client. See, now there will be two descriptors. Okay, one is written by the socket system call and one which is written by the accept system call. But remember that accept system call ने जो descriptor written केला है, that is used for further communication, for reading and writing with the client. Okay, so accept will take three parameter, the socket descriptor which is written by the socket system call, okay, address to the structure, and then length of that structure. Getting? And here it will return you a descriptor which is used further in read and write system calls, reading and writing. It's very similar. I hope all of you know the file descriptor. File descriptor is used for reading and writing the contents from the file. Similarly, the descriptor which is written by the accept system call, okay, because we are accepting the request from the client side. Okay, we are accepting the request from the client, and whichever request that we are accepting, this system call will return you a descriptor through which we can read and write the data to that particular client. Getting? Yeah, I hope you understand. So first is what? This is very important diagram. Socket, okay, socket system call. जर आपण बघितलं तर इथे होता socket. See, the sequence is very important. First is socket system call. इथे socket system call आहे तुमचा. Second is bind. This is your bind system call. Next is listen. Next is accept. Okay, and accept ने जो descriptor written केला है, that is used for reading and writing. Getting? So all this is about the server side. This is the server side. Now if you look at the client side, I can come to read and write protocol later on. But if you look at the client side program is also very similar. Client side ला कुठले system calls आहेत? We have socket system call, then connect. We don't have a bind here because there is no need of address binding in the client side. Okay, so here socket, then connect, write and read. So let's talk about socket system call. This is very similar, तसाच आहे, same. So this is a client program, client echo program. So you can see that first I need to create the structure variable. Structure से variable create करा. Then you need to initialize the members, that is port, family and address. I am using loopback address here. And see, the third one is nested structure. So we need to use double dot operator here. Okay, and then the system call that you have to execute is the socket. Socket system call तुम्हाला execute करायला लागेल. Socket is having three parameter: family, type and port protocol. So family is AF underscore inet. Type is stream socket because we are looking for TCP. आता जो program बघतोय client and server, it is of TCP programming. So I am using sock underscore stream. Okay, मगाशी मी तुम्हाला दाखवलं होतं इथं वरती. So see here, as there are two types of sockets. Yeah, there are two types of socket, stream socket and datagram socket. So TCP is used as stream socket and stream socket ची व्हॅल्यू काय आहे सिस्टम कॉलची, तर जर तुम्ही सॉकेट सिस्टम कॉल बघितला, सी हियर सॉकेट सिस्टम कॉल, yeah, for stream socket the value is sock underscore stream, sock underscore stream. Getting? Yeah, now just go again back to our client program and the first system call is socket. Okay, it will return you a descriptor integer value that you can use further. After that there will be no binding, there is direct the system call is connect. Now this connect system call is used to establish the connection with the server in the three-way handshaking. Okay, it is used for sending the connection request to the server in three-way handshaking. So let me show you the syntax of connect system call. आपण connect चा system call बघूया पहिला काय आहे. Yeah, the connect, yeah, the next is connect. So now see, connect is used in the TCP client, not TCP server. Server side ला वापरत नाही. It is used in TCP client to establish the connection with the TCP server. Getting? It has three parameters again. The first parameter is the socket descriptor. First is socket descriptor. Second is address to the structure. Okay, that containing all information like family, port and IP address, and then address of that structure, length of that structure. So three parameters it has: socket descriptor, pointer to that particular structure, and the length of structure. Getting? So let me show you that system call here. Connect is the system call, in bracket descriptor. So what is a descriptor returned by the socket system call? It is, I have taken variable here c underscore sogfd. This is a variable, you can take any variable of integer type. Getting? Yeah, so this is the first variable, first parameter. Second parameter is the address of the you can say structure, address of the structure. So what is the address of structure here? The variable address द्यावा लागेल. Variable is client, so you need to write down, it is a pointer to that structure basically, where all information has been stored, like port number आपण इथे initialize केले बघा. Client is a variable and from this through this variable we have initialized the member of the structure, that is port, family and address. Getting? And that address of that structure we are, or pointer to that structure we are giving here, and then size of that structure. Getting? This is what the connect system call. Connect is basically used for sending the request to the server, and ही ज्यावेळेला request send केली जाईल, it is accepted by the your server. ज्यावेळेला कनेक्ट तुम्ही पाठवताय, ज्यावेळेला कनेक्ट मधून रिक्वेस्ट जाईल, इट विल बी देअर इन द क्यू विच इज सर्व बाय द सर्वर थ्रू द एक्सेप्ट सिस्टम कॉल. तो एक्सेप्ट करेल ती रिक्वेस्ट हियर. ओके, then basically we look out for write first. So who will write first? Data कोण सेंड करणार आहे पहिला? क्लायंट, because client will send the request. आपण असं म्हणूया की client is sending some request for operation and server will do that operation and send me the result back. So in our process I'm showing you an example of echo. Client काय करणार? Client will say, suppose the client is writing hello, server will send that hello back because server is echoing. It will doing echo. So whatever the client send, it will send it back. Similarly, you can do any operation. Suppose if I want to do any mathematical calculation, the client sends a 2 number suppose, and if you want the addition operation, then you can say the server will perform the mathematical calculation and send me the result back. Suppose there is a time server, so I can send the request for time from client. A server will process that request, he will find out the system time and send me the result back. So you can see any type of server you can implement, but you need to implement the system calls. Getting? Now I'll talk about write first. So what is a write system call? Who will execute the write first? Client is writing first and server is reading. Then server is writing and then client is reading. Now let me talk about what is the write and read system call. It is very similar like write and read system call in your file. Okay, so this is what the write and read. So read system call is basically used for reading the data from the descriptor. So it has 3 fields. पहिला तुम्हाला descriptor द्यावा लागेल, okay, through which we are reading. Okay, then second is the buffer in which the data has to be written, म्हणजे in which the data which is read is written. So it is a buffer to read the information, म्हणजे read केलेली information कुठल्या buffer मध्ये तुम्ही store करणार आहे. and next is the how many bytes that you have read. That is what the read system call. Okay, I will repeat again. First is a descriptor through which it is a socket descriptor through which we are reading. Second, it is the address of a character variable in which we are storing the information which is read, and third is the number of bytes that has been read. Write system call, it is used for writing. Read system call is used for reading the data. Writing म्हणजे तुम्हाला दुसऱ्या साईडला काही सेंड करायचं असेल then you can use write system call. It is having three parameter again. First is descriptor, second is the it is basically a address of buffer, or it is address of character array through which we are writing, and then it's this how many bytes that you are writing. All these three parameters you need to write. Okay, descriptor, from where you are sending, from which buffer, and what is the size of that, how many bytes that you are writing. These three parameters you need to write. Okay, let me talk about what is the client, how the client is going to write. So as I am showing the demo of the echo client and echo server. So see here I am asking anything that you want to send to the server side for echo purpose. So take it into buffer. Buffer मध्ये घ्या. Buffer is a character array I have taken here. See here, it's a character array. So take it in buffer. It is a string that I am asking for the user, and that string just send it to the server side. So how I can send the data? I need to use write system call. Look at here, the write system call is used. Write in bracket the descriptor. So what is the descriptor? It is c underscore sockfd. See, at the client side only one descriptor is there, that is written by the socket system call. So it is c underscore sockfd. You can write any name, comma, okay, address of the array in which you have taken the data. So it is address and then how many number of bytes you are writing. जेवढे तुम्ही write करताय तेवढे. ठीक आहे. After that, here it is having write system call, and if you look at the server program, server is having read system call first. So whichever written by the you can say client, whichever written by the client, it is read here in the. So client is writing from buffer. Buffer मध्ये जे काही content आहे तो write करतोय. Here it is read in the another buffer, that is message. So message is a character array again. So if I say if the client send hello, it will be stored in the message, and then we are printing it, and the same thing you are writing back. So here again write that, because we are going to echo, म्हणजे जे काही मिळाले ते echo करायचं. We have stored in the message, and same message you can write it back. So how you are going to write? By using write system call. So write in bracket the socket descriptor, but remember here the socket descriptor that is used is written by the accept system call, not by the socket system call. Getting? कुठला डिस्क्रिप्टर वापरायचा आहे? जो accept system call ने रिटर्न केलाय तो डिस्क्रिप्टर वापरायचा आहे. ओके, सो हियर c sockfd, this is a descriptor written by the accept system call. So use that descriptor, then message that you want to write and the size of that message. Okay, and that here you can see here there is a write system call, here there will be read system call. So it is, you can say you need to synchronize this communication. So if somebody is writing, another need to read it. Getting? Yeah, you can see the server. Initially the client is writing, server is reading. Now server is writing, client is reading, and then you can need to display that information which has been came here. So whatever read, it will be stored in the reply buffer. Okay, reply is again the character array, and then that information is been displayed on the screen by using puts. Okay, hope you understand this client and server program. And this is just for echo service. This is for echo service. हे फक्त echo service साठी आहे. I'll tell you in the lab what you are going to do. Okay, I hope all of you have understood the today's discussion. Okay, so we have looked at what is socket, what is socket address, which are the types of socket. It is stream and datagram socket. Then which are the socket structures. आपण दोनच बघितले. There are many. So this is used in nesting format. Okay, these two structures has been used. Then we have seen the types of server. So see, types of server you can clearly understood the difference. One I show in a practical demonstration ki how the iterative and concurrent will work. Okay, and then in this 9th experiment you are going to do the TCP communication. So this diagram, I again repeat, this diagram is very important. So you need to write two programs. You need to write the two programs. One is server program and another is client program. In server program, you need to execute the system call socket, bind, listen, accept, read, write, and then close. Okay. And in client, you need to execute socket, connect, write, and read system calls. Okay. So same thing we did here. So this is a server and this is a client. So you need to write the two programs here. तुम्हाला लॅबला दोन प्रोग्राम करावे लागतील. यू नीड टू टेक द स्ट्रक्चर व्हेरिएबल्स, यू नीड टू इनिशियलाइज द मेंबर्स, देन you need to execute one by one calls, okay, and complete the program. So once you complete this two programs, you need to execute the server first and then client. I can show this demonstration. I cannot right now able to show it, but I can show you this demonstration during the lab. But I request all of you to please go through this system calls clearly. Okay. So in the lab session, in the lab, what you need to do is in the journal you need to write down the aim, objective, title, and relevance. The experiment number 9 is TCP communication. Next experiment we'll see the UDP communication. Okay. Then you just write down whatever the theory that I have already given. This diagram is important, and after this diagram you need to write down the syntax of each system call that you are going to execute. Okay. Yeah, after this this you can put in the journal, and in the lab session आपल्याला लॅबला काय करायचं आहे. So you need to write down, actually I have decided to take it for eco and time. So eco program I will provide you, I will put it on Moodle. Okay, एक सॅम्पल प्रोग्राम इकोचा मी तुम्हाला देणार आहे. टाइमचं you can write your own by just taking a reference from eco program. So eco is just what we are writing the client, TCP client, okay, and TCP server. दोन प्रोग्राम लिहावे लागतील, TCP client and TCP server. Server is for echoing. So if the client send hello to the server, server will send the same thing back, hello, to the client. That is for echo. And in time what happen? Here again you need to write down the two programs. One is TCP client and another is TCP server. तुम्हाला दोन प्रोग्राम लिहावे लागतील, TCP client and TCP server. But server is for time. So if I send the request from client, मी जर रिक्वेस्ट सेंड केली टाइमसाठी, so if I send the request from client to server for the time, server will calculate that time. तो काय करेल, calculate करेल time, and he will reply that time to the client. Okay. So I will upload this experiment, my video recording, as well as the program for client and server for TCP communication, TCP client server program for eco service. I will upload it on Moodle. In the lab you do yourself for the time. Okay, fine. So I am going to end this session now. Hope you understand this diagram and all system calls and two programs that I already shown to you, that is of client as well as server. So don't worry, I can put this sample programs of ecoचा मी देणार आहे, टाइमचा तुम्हाला करायचं स्वतः. Okay. So I'll show the execution. Right now I am not able to show you execution. I'll show the execution during our practical hours. Okay. So before that you need to go through this video. Okay. Fine. So I am going to end now.